Hi everybody, welcome to the QB School. I'm JT O'Sullivan. Today, Baker Mayfield. How did he hurt his team? We are breaking it down. Kind of all over the place on a number of different factors. Fired up for this one. Let's get into it. Welcome to the QB School. All right, let's see how Baker hurt his team right here. Deep pick to the post. Sort of, obviously held, pass interference, illegal touching, however you want to classify it. I don't care. And it's a bad decision. And he's just chucking this thing, throwing it up. Almost never. Let me say that again. Almost never will you throw a post when there is a post safety. So what the hell am I talking about? Middle field closed. 26 is in the middle of the field. He is, many people will classify this as a middle field closed post safety. Why? Because he's standing where the post is. Right? You're welcome. So usually when he's back there, any post, doesn't matter where it comes from, you're not going to throw it. Now, every once in a while, they will invert replace this thing. I think I have a whole video on that. Get into the weeds of it. But when there's that guy back there, you almost just say, all right, it's gone. Use it as a clear. He's out. He's out. Usually these posts are tethered with an over in the NFL, especially versus middle field closed defenses. And this thing is a massive hit. Of course it is when you throw a pick to the other guy. Now, this one gets a little blurry because of how this guy plays it. So he kind of keeps the roof shallow, turns and is almost eyeballing this way. And there's a post safety. So just throw the damn over. And again, I get it. It's easy. Bro, you're on YouTube. You got a clicker. I get it. I can hear you. And he's over the top of the safety and you haven't thrown it yet. Like you can see either you're throwing that thing blind, which he is, or you're just guessing that he's going to win because of where that safety is and how he's turned. But the other thing about these posts, this thing's going to be an hour video because I can't get through throwing a post pick to a post safety. But these deep posts are not anticipation throws. You don't throw that before he's come out of the stem. So you want them to come out of it, set it, and then there's usually a landmark, usually the near hash, far hash, post, whatever, to know where they're going to be. But you can't just come back here and blind chuck this thing off timing. This is not a timing throw. This is a see him come out of the route and let it rip. So when does he separate? I mean, he's separated right there. I mean, yeah, the safety is shallow, but you got to be able to see the receiver. And to me, I think he's just throwing this thing blind. And that over was going to be a massive hit. Damn. So yes, it should have been a penalty. And not good enough quarterbacking, not good enough vision, not good enough decision making. Just too careless with the ball. Because it doesn't look like the helmet on a stripe is pointed to the right, like outside the right hash. You never want to go post over post. And I'll also say, just paying attention to his feet, which are kind of all over the place in this game. He throws a lot on his toes anyway. But when I'm talking about throwing on your toes, see how his back heel is off the ground? It's really tough to see right there. His back heel is off the ground. Now, that doesn't lead to this interception. There's a number of variables that lead to it. But when we start talking about pinpoint accuracy, to me, that's something that for him, his footwork, his base, that back foot needs to get cleaner for him to be more consistent with this ball location stuff. Stuff that he should be really good at and is sometimes. But he also has like a bizarre ability to make things difficult. Now, this is a 4th and 1. He does a nice job going no to the slot player in the left, running a little slant, yes to the outside short in. But again, to me, his head is all over the place. So what do I mean by that? Take a peek at his stripe of his helmet. So he catches the snap, looks to the right. Now, I mean, maybe he's checking to see if he's hot. But to me, there's a few different things we can talk about here. This is a great conversion, 4th and short. Check that back foot out one more time. Back heel, off the ground. works out right here. Short, intermediate passes, a little bit easier. This is a big time conversion. And there are a few indicators here of what's going on. So the first thing here is, what's the shell? They rocker that thing, middle field closed. It's 4th and 1. It's man coverage. You can make a significant bet that they're not playing zone on 4th and 1. You see this guy pressed, whatever, easy to see. Motion this guy, they rocker the safeties. So what does that mean? Instead of running with them, they just push him. The guy who was in the middle comes down. Now the other thing to pay attention to, in most quarterbacks, and if you're not a quarterback and you're not most quarterbacks and fall into this category in the league, will realize when you see a 5-person front, so a bare front, whether it's mint, sink, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you are almost always, if there's not any sort of like zero feel to it, going to get man free. What is that? That is cover 1 with no rat or hole player, meaning everyone is locked up right there on the tight end, right there on the back, middle field player, rushing 5. That's what it is. You play one season in NFL Europe, you get real comfortable with this. Okay? This means you got to get the ball out fast. It also means if you've got a rub or 2 verticals here or a spot, whatever you want to say, and a flat, almost always that's the side you're going to go to. Now again, not going to pretend that I know what the read is here, because I don't. I'm not in their quarterback room. But if you see that and you play, he's got to run through, look at the guy covering the back up top. He's got to run through 2 routes and 2 defenders, and that's an easy first down. I'm not saying it's a bad look down here to go double slant or slant in. It is. It's just harder. That's the truth of it. And if you were nervous about being hot to the right, which maybe you are if you, I don't know, you think you're going to get some sort of fire zone or dog zone or some sort of zone pressure. But to me, I see sink and I'm thinking, man free. That's just hard. That's a tough, hard fought 1st and 1. 1st and 1, 4th and 1 conversion there. See the safety's rocker? I mean, you can see that safety. That safety's coming down to play man-to-man on the tight end. It's obvious. He is not pressuring. And look at his base. It gets crazy wide. Toesy. Really fortunate right there. Next one here. 2nd and 19. And this is on here for a few different reasons. We miss a hitch up top. Now, I'm going to probably side on the side of the quarterback damn near all the time. I will tell you that I see a pattern of bad things happening when we throw to 11. But I'm going to guess that the wide receiver here goes too deep, specifically from looking at Chubb down here at the bottom of the screen where his hitch ends up, assuming these are mirrored concepts. He's on the what? The 19 at the bottom. Up top, he's on the 17. That ball is thrown to the 19, probably a little low. But footwork-wise here, catch, I mean, that's just so many moving parts. Right foot, left foot right under yourself, right foot down to throw a hitch. It's just hard to be consistent. I don't care who you are. You don't see this type of footwork damn near at any level to throw a hitch. Just too many moving parts to be consistent with your release, your eyes, your accuracy. And why it's a big deal is because if you get a conversion there, it's a lot, or you get a completion there, it's a lot closer or more manageable than 3rd and 19. That's a nice sunset. What is it? Probably like 2 o'clock there though. 3rd and 19. Okay, now we're going to throw a disgusting pick because we got an incompletion on 2nd and 19. Now, this is all sorts of bad. And it starts with Baker's footwork. Obviously, the ball flies out of there. We're going backwards for some reason. It's there for a completion. And it's a bummer because it's 3 points. And there's no other way to say it than this is footwork. Almost looks like he like hurts his ankle at the back. It's all sorts of weird. So slow this thing down, just the back of the drop. Very rarely do you want to hit that back foot and go backwards again. So see how it crosses that white line? He's going backwards. Then like, I mean, what happens? It like catches some mud. Either way, that thing flies out of there, misses it by yards, and you go from potentially having a field goal and an easier 3rd down conversion to a pick out of points, out of a chance to take the lead. And, I'm not saying that this is a perfect pocket. It's not. But the idea, instead of going backwards, see that little hitch back? Let's go up in the pocket. Yeah, I know you're a little guy, okay? But get up in the pocket, be a vertical threat to run it, kick a field goal, protect the ball going back. And I get it. Your tackles are getting walked back into you, but very rarely do good things happen when you hit your back foot, and that happens. You go backwards, you slide, you're on your toe, you sky mail it, now you got to go make a tackle. And it just takes the complete energy out of your team, going from having a chance to take the lead to having a really just disgusting pick. And really, I mean, I don't know how you watch the film here, especially from the end zone, and look at the footwork and go, oh, that's what we want. Now, I thought it almost got tipped. It came out of there, like a 40-inch TV. I mean, that thing is wide, wobbling all over the place. My goodness. Just a bummer. But we battle back. Touchdown pass right here. Not fortunate when the corner at the bottom of the screen just loses his mind. Doesn't cover his guy. But take it. Look at that, Santa. So nice little window dressing here with the little shift. See the tight end go from inline to lined up. Old school T-counter boot. And poor 21 just doesn't know what he's got. So what am I talking about? The bottom of the screen. Watch 21 here with this little shift. So C21 right here, he's talking about who he's got with these two guys right here. Now this play is we're faking this way. One of the guards or tackles fakes this way. He's out into the flat first. Then the tight end comes down and he's out into the corner. And we've got this over coming across. So someone has the back out. There's a bunch of different ways you can do this. You can banjo it. I've got the first one out. That means I'll take the first one out. We'll sort it out. He'll have the second, like 1 out, 2 out, 3 out. However it goes, it doesn't matter for this show. For this, he's got the back right there, man to man. So he's running with that flat when he goes, fakes it into the flat. 21, who plays corner, comes up into the box and has the wing. So when he blocks down and then eventually gets to the corner, he loses his eye discipline and goes to the back. He sees the back out first and he runs with the back, and we've got him on the edge. So just watch that corner at the bottom of the screen. You can see him communicating, like the little thumb up right there. Yeah, I got you, bro. Good. I'll take the wing. You take the tight end, 26. Well, the tight end stays in the block. The wing blocks and then engages into a corner. The corner comes up, and that's as easy as it comes. 2 guys on the flat. 21. Yeah, that's my bad, bro. Who's bad? My bad. And 26. Yeah, you're right. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we're good. So again, little shift. Pull the guard, pull the fullback, tailback in the flat, no. Wing, corner, yes. Love it. So does Santa. From the action, watch the middle linebacker right over the ball. He's running with the tailback. That's a tough ask. And look at him. He does a pretty decent job. Tailback probably gets the ball if 21 doesn't do his own thing. In fact, you'd love the wing, 88, the guy who catches the touchdown, to kind of accidentally block that linebacker, 59, 55, 59. Got it right. Nice. Nice design, nice execution. So is this. 3rd and 15. Dagger, bottom of the screen. See Baker changing the protection. Not necessarily sure why, but this is a great throw at the bottom of the screen. I feel like I go over the dagger concept every other video on this channel. Beautiful throw. Decent safety play too here from the Packers. Make this thing tight and contested. But great throw from the pocket. Again, I will make the argument, and this is something that I've talked about with a handful of quarterbacks, but Baker's the most recent guy that I've seen do it a lot. He gets himself into trouble. So the ball's on the hash. You're taking a 3-step or 5-step drop. Look where he ends up, outside the hash. Because he looks like he's looking to the left to start, and he's going to the left. Well, that puts your left tackle in a bind. Like, look how close you are. The defensive end is hitting your shoulder because of your footwork playing quarterback, as opposed to being in the pocket, step up, over and drive the ball. All that being said, it's still a great throw. It really is. This is as good as it came for him as far as being in the pocket and driving the ball down the field. So concept-wise, dagger, a good X's and O's video that talks about it. Deep in. You can see it's even deeper than that. Here's the first down sticks up here. So you're going to run this thing to make sure you get enough depth for the first down. It's usually paired with a clear post, usually some sort of 7, circus, comeback, something on the backside. If you like that, take a shot. Otherwise, it's right here. Bunch of different ways to get there, whether it's play action, whether it's a 5-step, big 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When does he let this thing go? Separates right there. Little anticipation to at the bottom of the screen. Now, coverage-wise, split field coverage, we're starting to get into a little bit of combo bracket stuff. Up top, it looks like they're playing an iteration of 2-man. Down here at the bottom, it looks like more bracket on the number 2, and that safety just sees the number 1 ball thrown on the in and drives it. It's a nice play. Nice play all the way around. That's a big conversion. 3rd and 15s are nasty. So watch it full speed here. And again, you can make a nice throw. You can make a good play, good conversion, and you can still get better from it. Like, just unnecessarily difficult, right? Moving to your left, drifting to your left, throwing to your right. Damn. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. It lets you know when we go live, when we put out new content. I certainly appreciate the support for the channel. Then if you are looking to take your football knowledge to the next level, check out the Quarterback School courses. Have a number of different courses, RPO course, pass protection, tempos, how to beat every coverage, a bunch of new courses in the pipeline as well. So those links are in the description. And then if you are looking to really experience what it's like in NFL quarterback room, check out the Quarterback School Patreon community. Bunch of videos there every month, long form videos going into the details, kind of nuance of playing the position. So appreciate the support. Let's keep this video going. Coming out of the 2-minute here, this is just a disgusting pick on a number of different levels. Fancy design, really dislike the back shoulder. I'm assuming this is trying to be a back shoulder. I'm used to playing iterations of this play where you switch release these guys and they both kind of, the inside guy runs a stop, the outside guy runs kind of a comeback. I really dislike kind of double moves, back shoulder throws down the field, especially when you're moving the launch point, just because you're bringing everybody to the party. So there's a lot going on here. The first thing here that I want to talk about. We've got a fast 4. So he's going in motion. We're going to snap it in motion. This is going to cause some sort of defensive adjustment, whether they push it, meaning everybody kind of push their responsibilities over, whether someone's locked on him, running with him. Okay, there's a bunch of different ways to do it. Right here, we get a little bit of a switch release. So we're going to switch release this thing. You see the mailbox go up here. He tries to back shoulder this thing. What I was talking about, the play that I'm most used to is switch release, outside guy comeback, inside guy stick route or deep option. And you just read this thing 1 to 2. Now, right here, it looks more like switch release, curl, switch release, wheel. And I definitely don't like throwing the back shoulder here because this corner doesn't play this thing great, but because it takes so long, because you're almost like, you catch the ball, you've got this fast 4, he's pumping it like he's going to throw the swing, then he's rolling out this way, moving the launch point, love that. But when you do that, everybody has more time to adjust and you condense the field. So it's just, you got to know when these types of back shoulder throws are available, even if they look open. So again, check the switch release up top. Well, first let's check the running back fast 4. See that little quick pump fake? Pump. Okay, now let's watch the switch release up top. What it does to the corner. See how that corner falls off and tries to stay with the number 1? Both the nickel and the corner end up back, baseball turning out of there. Whoop, whoop, and the corner falls into it. And yeah, is it there like a hole shot to that switch right there when he throws up his hand? Yes. But you've got to know you're moving your feet that way. Everything is going that way. It might feel open, but because you're moving, everything is condensed. And it's just about the kind of details and nuance of some of these plays. And this just feels like trying to do too much. And I think the most frustrating part, again, another interception, but look at the curl or the inside, the number 1 who becomes the new 2 when they switch release. Look at him standing at that sticks route or curl, right on the 45, wide ass open. Tough. So again, hard to know exactly what they're trying to do unless you're in the quarterback room, but understanding when you change the launch point and you've got these intricate like fake pumps moving. I mean, look at what the guard's trying to do here. The right guard on our left side pulling out. Oh my God. Just a combination of probably being too fancy, trying to do too much, being a little reckless, but just unfortunate too, more than anything else. 3rd and 5. Okay, we're at the 8. Got an easy field goal here. Hold on to the ball. We drift to the left, sack. And I will say here, again, it's almost impossible. It is impossible unless you've been in the system and were in the room that week to tell you where the ball should go exactly. But I can tell you that you don't want to get in the habit of, watch his feet, drifting to the left, even if you're going to throw it, because you put your left tackle in a bind. If I'm playing tackle for the Browns, I am pissed at this cat. Like, as opposed to stay in the middle, take 3, shuffle up, and go run it. Try to lower your shoulder, get a first down. But because you're drifting, you're making it an issue. So is the play design going to work to the left? No, it's tight. It's a good decision to not throw it. And your footwork is bringing us to a sack. So watch the bottom down here. It's just an option route. That thing is covered. You throw that thing, you got to go make a tackle. That's pick 6. No, I don't know what the read is, but working an option is almost never bad as long as you got a dude who can separate, and that guy should be able to separate anytime he wants. But they're sitting on it, squatting on the goal line. That's good defense. Tip your hat, move on. If for some reason you were to work up top, obviously it's wide ass open to the back. But I'm not going to sit here and be the click reader. You pick the option or you're working the option, it's not there, don't throw it. And don't drift. Stay in the middle of the pocket, get up in the pocket, potentially squeak out of there and run, potentially squeak out of there and get your eyes to the other side. But this is not, I mean, there's no nice way to say this. This is not NFL football. This is not NFL footwork. You don't catch the ball, jump over there, and screw the tackle. You just don't. It's impossible to be successful over the long term doing stuff like that on a consistent basis. 2nd and 6. Another should be disaster here. Turnover worthy play. It's a guy in the damn chest. This to me is a combination of scheme, obviously horrific decision, throw, really fortunate not to be a pick. Again, everybody, in the league for as long as they've been throwing the ball, catches, runs these deep shots with an over. Now the great thing about getting into this type of personnel, well, I'm going to call 13 personnel. I don't know Cleveland's personnel perfectly, but looks like 3 tight ends. So 3 tight ends, 1, 2, 3. You have some sort of deep shot, whether it's a post, flag, whatever. When you run this over, you're thinking, they probably think it's run, right? We've got 13 personnel, probably some variation of zone. If it's zone, great. Whatever, these guys should be off. But this looks like man, huh? And if you catch man and you're in 13 personnel, that means that they have our friend the corner running with him maybe, or a safety running with a tight end. Depending on your tight end, that's not always a great matchup. So when you run this over versus zone, you'll love to hear coaches say, run to grass, settle down. Well, when you run it versus man, you better run it, separate, and flatten that thing off, or just beat that cat with pure speed across the field. Because if you lazy banana this thing in there, and that dude is faster than you, and he can catch up and undercut this thing, it's a good play by defense, but it's a poor route, it's a poor design, poor concept, and definitely a poor throw, poor decision. So watch 81 down here at the bottom of the screen. Corner's got him, right? He's running with him. I mean, he's running the route better than the tight end. The tight end looks like he's running routes on air. That looks like a chalkboard route, a whiteboard route. Just out in the park, run to the tree. Undercut, hits him in the damn chest, hits him almost behind him. It's so well undercut. But you know, these are the, more than anything else, this is obviously a quarterback channel, quarterback video. Can't make this throw. I mean, you know, there's an element of me that looks like he is just guessing on some of these shots down the field. And that's, you know, this is as turnover worthy as it gets right there. You know what I'm going to say? If he could catch, he'd be playing offense, but damn. 3rd and 6. Nice one right here. Really is a nice one. Go from bunch, 2x2, little post down here at the bottom. Great design, timing, anticipation. Excellent. So watch this release here. Nice job with his eyes too, being able to hold this thing. C80 on the left. It's going to release out of the screen, come back in on the body, on the break, right on his face. You know, this is the type of stuff I think you'd love to see. Go from, again, bunch, 3x1 to 2x2, and then watch the release down here at the bottom of the screen. You're going to get double speed outs or rounded outs or spray outs, however you want to say it here. This, really on both sides. But right here, he kind of comes out here, widens this. Why do you want to widen it? You're widening it because you're running this short post or slant, and you want this hole to be bigger. So you can, as opposed to running where you just run straight up. Now look at the hole, as opposed to widening it just a tick. Get behind him, use his stem as a shield, widen the hole, and then cut back underneath. And sometimes these are option routes, and guys have you earn the opportunity to be able to take these things to the post if you see it. Sometimes they're just called, but this is a beautiful execution. See what it does to the DB? It really stacks them. Can't tell who's in, who's out. And again, it creates that space between, look at the middle field player, 42, or the, not middle field player, the thief or rat, 42, right between the hashes. He's able to widen that hole, fit it in there. Just beautiful, accurate, well-timed throw. So again, 42 on our left, C-gap player drops back into the, as the thief or rat. Can't make the play. Great job. Next one here. Nice little pick. They can't get a line. Look at it up top. Defensively, all misaligned. Baker does a nice job with his patience. You know, the guy who's technically uncovered is the slot, but the corner does a decent job of helping 26 who can't get out there and get a line. I mean, even on these plays, he's drifting. Like, look at the, it's just frustrating. But again, you can see up top. So the slot is uncovered. The 29, the corner, sees it. He's pointing to it. He's going to try to help, go over there and kind of settle in there. But when he does that, he kind of vacates his responsibility, and now they catch him over the top. So is it the corner's fault? Hell no. Defense can't get aligned. Baker, nice job seeing it. That's a nice throw. High back 5, give his guy a shot. And so much of playing defense is just getting aligned pre-snap. It really is. I know that's easy cop-out, but man, give yourself a shot. Last couple here. 88 seconds left. A little out to the number 2. Just behind him. This is a drive to win the game here. To me, these are, you know, like a free throw or a layup. Footwork wise, again, I think he's going to get in trouble. So to me, this is just a simple go. If you like the matchup, let it rip. Otherwise, we've got the out versus off coverage. I mean, this is pitch and catch. This is routes on air for NFL guys. Pay really close attention to his feet, and I think his feet are the kind of runway to some of these problems or accuracy issues. So left foot, false step. 1, second foot right underneath him. Again, this is heel clicking in the drop. Just unnecessarily not smooth. And then that back foot hits just the toe. All out of whack. A lot of moving parts. I mean, this looks like just like a bad dance at the back. I just really dislike drops that have kind of your feet underneath yourself. You're not getting any depth. It's just a timing thing. And when you have to speed it up like this, you're all out of sorts. Put the ball in the back hip. So from the back in here, it's just unnecessarily difficult. Like that's a throw that, you know, anybody in the league should feel like they can make all the time, any day. 3rd and 7, 2x2. Again, simple, easy little flick to the flat. Great job by Chubb finding the first down here. But to me, this throw is on his back hip, and fortunate that he's a great player and can make this play. Unnecessarily difficult. Again, check the back foot out. It's not the greatest shot in the world because we're on the wrong end zone, but his heel is off the ground. Just very difficult to be consistent doing that. Go out there and do anything and put one foot on your toe. Shoot a free throw, drive a golf ball, throw a ball. It's hard to be consistent. And this is a huge play. Again, I just don't understand, and maybe it's just the dinosaur in me with the footwork, but the left foot false step, 1, 2, technically his second step, I'm not going to count that first false step, that right foot, and that second left right there, right underneath him, it's just unnecessarily difficult. Get lined up to throw this thing and get it out with all your cleats in the ground and drive that thing. Just harder than it has to be. And it's still a great play, big conversion, give yourself a shot here. But man, just some things feel like they're harder than they have to be with him being able to throw these throws that you think are his kind of specialty, go-to. Then this last one here, to me, this is obviously a hold up top. Obviously, I'm going to side on the side of the quarterback, the offense. But you can't count on these types of penalties being called in this type of situation. You just can't. The referees are just like most fans. They want the players to decide the game. Just a bummer on many levels. I'm not going to put this on Baker Mayfield by any chance. I am going to say that it's I actually like this concept down here at the bottom of the screen. We're going to get inside fade. So again, I don't know what the read is for these guys, but if you get usually inside fade with some sort of option here or deep hitch, usually with a locked hitch here, this is a great middle field closed man concept side. Well, it's good versus a number of things. But and again, I get it, I get the clicker and the pen. If he were to work this side, so say he sees middle field close, we're going to take a shot here. We don't like it, right to here as kind of the number 2. It's a conversion. It's easy. Up here, you love the matchup. To me, it's just tighter coverage. But yeah, right here, usually when you push off at the hip, wide receiver, don't get extended at the shoulder. You can come off here and get a nice little beat of separation. Again, from the pocket, I have a hard time faulting him at all for this throw. I like the fact that he gets it out on schedule. He gets it out on time. He's trusting his guy to go in there and win. But again, at the bottom of the screen, if you said no to the inside fade, and this might not even be middle field close. It might be a variation of bracket. But man, that's a hell of a lot easier to Landry, huh? But if you're going to work that in, you got to throw it with trust. Got to let it rip. And you got to trust the referees to do their job too. Just a bummer that it had to come down to that for a number of different factors. But man, the consistency, how hard things are even for some of the completions, tough. So that is a wrap. Baker Mayfield, my goodness, all over the place as far as decision making, footwork, and still made some really nice throws. Kept a football team in the game and really gave them a shot. So yeah, did he cause his team to necessarily kind of not be able to finish the job? Absolutely. But why? Probably not as simple as far as just like making some poor decisions, although there were some poor decisions. Definitely didn't have the refs help him there on a couple of those interceptions as well. But some turnover-worthy plays, some footwork issues, really more than anything else for me, as far as things that once you get past the judgment element of it, that I think can really help with some of those accuracy elements. And make no bones about it, I might not have mentioned it in the video, but playing in that stadium when it's cold, it is not fun. It is not easy to throw the ball. So it almost makes the footwork technique part of it even more important. So lots to dive into, digest there. Let me know what you thought of the video. I appreciate it. I will see you next time. Have a good one.